Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Right, today's video is gonna cover one of frequently asked questions. I don't get this question in every stream, but definitely I do somebody now asking about this, every week or every other week live on streams. And that is whether it is worth ranking up, 5-star champions in general, or typically these questions are whether it's worth ranking up this particular 5-star and so on and so forth. And obviously the situation here is wildly different to newer players, to players who are just starting out, in which case the answer is obviously yes. Any champion that's good, that's going to help you progress in a game, 5 stars are going to have a ton of value. Fact of the matter is that in virtually every game mode where other players are not directly involved, 5 stars can do all the content, fairly well. You can still use 5 stars in Abyss, you can still use 5 stars in Act 7. Obviously, it is harder than with 6 stars, but it's still perfectly doable. So this video is not necessarily meant for camp players, for uncollected players, because the answer there is automatically yes. If you're a camp player, is it worth ranking up this 5 star? Yeah, it is. If it's going to help you progress in the game, go for it. This is more of a video for, very top of the camp spectrum maybe, and primarily kind of like Thronebreakers and potentially even Paragon players. And from that perspective, from my perspective, there are exactly 4 reasons to rank up 5-star champions in 2022. There are like 4 good scenarios in my head when I think it's perfectly reasonable and correct or fine to rank up 5 stars. So we can start with number 1, and that is very simple. If you have 5-star rank up gems, that is an obvious scenario right there. If you have a 5-star rank up gem, what else are you going to do with it? Use it. Rank up whoever you want. That's what they're there for. And even though it might have like a minimal impact, you can see I have no 5-star rank up gems at all whatsoever. Because even if it's going to be a minimum impact to your account, be that, slightly better arena grinding or something like that, why wouldn't you use those gems to rank up those 5-star champions? And there's nothing wrong with it. If you explore a variant, you get 4 to 5 gem, obviously you're going to use it. Right. Reason number 2 to rank up 5-star champions, and that is if those champions do not exist as 6 stars. Since 5-star champions can still tackle virtually all content in the game, and some of the most powerful champions in the game are exclusives, like Quake, like Magic, I do think those 2 champions are very much so worth ranking up, because it seems pointless to not rank up a 5-star champion that, like Quake, for instance, that could help you today, in hopes that she's gonna come, I don't know, next month, in 2 months, in 3 months, in 4 months as a 6-star. By that point, you will have gotten worth your resources back from having access to these champions. And similarly to Wolverine, and similarly to OG Scarlet Witch, they might not be as great of a champions, but, if you want to rank up Wolverine, you shouldn't hesitate to rank up a 5-star Wolverine, obviously. There is no 6-star Wolverine. Maybe we're going to get it in a while, but who knows? Don't let that hang over your head. Rank up the 5-star. So those are the 2 easiest types to describe and explain. The third good reason, and this is the most compelling reason, this is the one that kind of requires most of your own processing power, to rank up 5 stars, even as a Paragon player, for instance, or even as, endgame Thronebreaker player, is that if you have immediate use / need for those champions, if you're clearing a piece of content and you have a champion that could, help you significantly, make your life easier, or reduce your item costs in a specific variant or in a specific arenas challenge, rank up that champion. Here I have plenty of stories myself. Now, obviously, at large, I don't rank up 5-star champions anymore. Haven't for quite a long time. But, for instance, Karina's objectives, Karina's challenges came out, right? And I ranked up my Anti-Venom to rank 5. Because I knew he's going to be very good for clearing the Abyss lane with a plan that I have set in my head. Everything worked out, and I ranked up 5-star anti-venom. And yes, since I have pulled the 6-star, my 6-star still unduped. I'm not in a super big rush to rank up that 6-star, even though I do like anti-venom as a champion. But I do not regret doing so anyhow, even after I pulled the 6-star. Why? Because he already did his job. He already helped me to accomplish my goal. Then, you know, similar story, for instance, was when I needed somebody to use against Medusa boss in another cringe challenge. Took my Squirrel Girl to rank 4 because I felt that, you know, at rank 4 it would be more reasonable, more comfortable. And yeah, one-shotted that Medusa boss and used it. I think that's a perfectly decent reason, you know, because tier 4 basic catalysts, tier 4 class catalysts aren't that rare, and I had much easier time thanks to that, and I ranked up my Squirrel Girl. And that's typically the situation. If you struggle with your AQ path, for instance, and you have a 5-star Hercules, rank up that 5-star Hercules immediately if he can do that lane. If you struggle with another piece of content and there is a 5-star that could make it much easier for you, save you a bunch of revives, stuff like that, rank that champion up. But don't rank up those 5-stars that you think are great and amazing, but you don't have an immediate use/need for. So that is the big difference factor there. Because if you rank up a champion that, you know, everybody says is great, and you do not plan on benefiting from it, then there's still obviously that risk that, you know, you're going to pull the 6-star by the time you do actually need that champion, or B, the fact that you're never going to use it if you don't have a clear plan, in which case it would be a waste of resources indeed. If you have a clear present need, be that Alliance quest, be that, you know, a challenge, story content, or something like that, that you definitely know for a fact this champion as a 5-star will make your life easier, and, you know, it will make it possible for you to do that content with much less trouble, rank up that 5-star. So that is the third one. And the fourth one, again, we're going back in much simpler territory. Fourth good reason to rank up a 5-star champion, to max out a 5-star, is if you're just really having fun with that champion. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this is still a game. As I said at the beginning, 5-stars can still be very viable in vast majority of the content. And for instance, if you absolutely love, I don't know, Mole Man, or if you absolutely love playing with Domino, rank it up, you know. I'm sure if you really enjoy that champion, you're going to find uses for that champion. And again, it's a game, you're meant to enjoy it. And ultimately, if you think that is the way you're going to get the most amount of fun out of the game, then, you know, go for it. Trust me, the longer this game goes, the less consequential these decisions are going to become. You know, because, you know, right now, tier 5 basics, you know, they're not rare anymore. But, you know, fair enough, they still take a while to acquire. What do you think is going to happen in 6 months? What do you think is going to happen in a year? Is it going to be harder to get a tier 4 basic? No, it's the same thing what happened with tier 4 basics. Initially, tier 4 getting basics in the game was premium item that, you know, was very, very hard to acquire. Right now, you know, you can kind of get tier 4 basics, you know, on demand, you know. You can get, I don't know, 10 a week from Glory Store, you get a whole bunch from God knows where, and they just kind of add up. You don't even think about them as a resource worth spending money on. You once did. And the same thing is eventually going to happen with tier 5 basics. The more time passes, the easier it is going to be to acquire, and the less these decisions will matter. In the same way that right now you can look at your 4-star roster, if you have played a while. Do you still fret or stress over having ranked up a 4-star that wasn't a good rank up or a wise decision at the time? No, like I have 4-star maxed out Psylocke. Sucks. Who cares? I didn't even remember that I have her as 4-star. Do I stress over the 3 tier 4 basic catalysts or 8 tier 4 basic catalysts that I have invested in her? No. Not at all. And the more time is going to pass, the less relevant these choices are. So there we go. Ultimately, should you rank up 5 stars? Quick version, abridged version. Number 1, if you have rank up gems, use them. That's what they're there for. Number 2, if the champions are the exclusive champions that do not exist as 5 stars, namely Quake, namely Magic, then also Wolverine, Scarlet Witch, so on. Third one, if you have an immediate benefit / need for that champion. If you have a plan, I'm going to rank up this champion and do this thing with that champion. Rank up that 5-star. He's going to earn those catalysts back by being useful to you in short term. Don't stress about pulling that champion down the line. Number 4, if you absolutely enjoy a champion, go for it. Why not? It's a game. Have fun. And number 5, there is no number 5. That was the question. The point is, remember that these things in perspective only matter. Today, this question matters as much as it ever will. If I'm going to make the same video, or we're going to discuss the same question 3 months down the line, 5 months down the line, the same rank up resources will matter much less because the game economy proceeds and continues. So it only is as big of a deal right now as it is ever going to be. It's going to only fade away. It's going to be a less relevant question. Here we are. I hope this video kind of helped you. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Drop a comment, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.
Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the